Hello and welcome to another episode of Literary Liberation Podcast. Today we will be discussing book talk consumerism.
Period.
Yeah. If you're interested in following us on our other social medias, our links will be below. I'm Kristen. You can find me at KRXXDXN on all social media platforms.
And I'm Mariah, and you can find me at Hungry Rye on all social media platforms.
And let's get right into the news.
Kristen had brought this to my attention. I think I saw it last night.
I've seen it like a week ago.
My stages. Did you see it a week ago?
I saw the item,
but
not
this
the
has
video.
been a phenomena, though, lately on Book Talk has been these e-readers. And everyone has been buying a variety of e-readers, so I will let Kristen segue into what exactly spurred this conversation.
Okay, so first off, I want to say that me and Mariah both have Kindles. We love our Kindles. We use our Kindles, I'd say probably almost every day. At least once a day, I'm probably using my Kindle if I'm not in the middle of something that I'm reading. I'd say at least like once a week I'm using my Kindle at minimum. Maximum, it'll be every day. You know, I use my Kindle all the time. And Mariah, I know, uses their Kindle all the time. We use our Kindles all the time. We have nothing against e-readers, but it feels very disingenuous and harmful whenever we know the things that are going on in the Congo and stuff with the mining of the copper and the copper batteries and stuff like that, for people to now be going online and promoting the new Kindle that comes out every year, the new Kobo that comes out every year, and then now there's a new e-reader that's supposed to be the size of an iPhone. And people are like, oh, I want to use these e-readers and spend money on these extra e-readers whenever they either already have a Kindle themselves or they have a phone that you can download the Kindle app on and use that way. And they're just buying a glorified black and white cell phone and using it as an e-reader.
Yes. And I think what made me so frustrated, we'll include the video in the
link below
description
or something
of this video, was that the creator who said that she had been a religious Kindle user was saying the only books that you can access on your Kindle are from the Amazon storefront, which is not true.
Objectively, it's not. Me and Mariah...
No. We're going to...
You know?
We have... For certain books that we don't want to spend money and invest in, we have other methods of obtaining said books.
That are perfectly legal and not... We get our... directly source our books from things. Because even if that wasn't objectively true, that, like... It's not true that we know people can get their books from other sources besides just Amazon storefront. Because how do you think people get digital ARCs? Those are not from Amazon storefront.
Yeah.
That's one example.
And the same, like, I get nonfiction books from Verso. We get books that are sent to us from authors.
Yes.
And whatnot. It's really easy. If you have a smartphone, you can download the file to your phone. If you have the Kindle app, download it on your phone. You just send it to the Kindle. Or you can connect it to your computer and send it when there's
plug
an
in
email.
Your Kindle to
and
your
it says,
computer.
like, your Kindle gets an email and you send it to your email on your Kindle.
Yes, like
it's really easy.
It's not anything complicated where you only have to use Amazon and things like that. And Mariah and I would never promote actively using Amazon. So, like, if you don't want to buy a Kindle and you want to buy a Kobo or you want to buy this individual phone size e-reader too, nobody's going to stop you. But the problem is the over-consumerism of it. Whenever I saw this girl that already has a cell phone, already has a Kindle, and she's promoting this new phone device, and it's like, you don't need those many different types of e-readers. Personally, I prefer reading on my Kindle because I like the black and white structure of it, and I like not having extra distractions on it where I could just swipe out of the book and then go do something else on it. That's why I don't like reading on my iPad and stuff like that. Or if somebody has an iPad, you can use that as your own personal Kindle or something like that. But creating this mini phone that is just for books seems wasteful to me, because you can literally just download the Kindle app and use that on your phone.
Yeah, especially if you already have the Kindle. Like, and I don't
Yes.
even think from like an accessibility standpoint that something so small would be as practical or useful for
As
people
a
who have like
smartphone.
limited hand motions or whatnot. I think you're better off having like a standard size Kindle.
Mhm.
Because also it's not going to fit in any of like the arms or like the clickers. I don't
Mhm.
think it's going to work as effectively with those things, which I think are accessibility devices that can be used for your Kindle.
Exactly. And then also another thing that I was thinking about too, where somebody in the comments was like, "Oh my god, you can go on AO3 and use AO3. That's one of the reasons why I want to get this like phone device." And I'm like, "You can download AO3 books and put those on your Kindle legally right now."
Yeah,
Like
I was going to say you can go on the web browser on your Kindle
AO3
and
has the
go on
ability
AO3.
to download. You can download people's fan fictions, and if you have the Kindle app on your phone, you download the EPUB file or the Mobi file from AO3, and you can send that directly to your Kindle and read fan fiction on your Kindle, where you don't have to have this special device. You don't want to read it on your phone, you know?
Mhm. And it's crazy to think cuz I remember seeing people like, "Oh my god, I have to get the new Kindle because it's in a different colorway. Like I want the sage green." It's like,
You don't,
"But you already have one.
yeah.
You don't
It's
need it cuz
different
it's in green."
if your Kindle is old, broken, and you want to get a new one and upgrade because it's been like this Kindle. I got a new Kindle last year because the Kindle that I had before that I've had for upwards of like 5 years. And it was just very slow. I would turn the page and you literally have to watch the screen flash to change the page, like so slowly. And so I was like, I want an upgrade for my birthday. It wasn't even like something where I was like, I was going out of my way to get it. And then now they're doing like colored Kindles and Kobos. And then everyone's like, oh my God, I can throw away my black and white Kindle and get the colored one. And it's like, what in reality do you need a colored Kindle for? Books aren't colored.
I don't know.
Like
The
the cover
only thing I
is.
could think is maybe like a graphic novel if you're really into graphic novels maybe, but even then most manga that I consume is in black and white.
Yeah.
Like the recolored, retouched One Piece is interesting, however, so but I read that on my phone, like the recolored one. Or if it's on my Kindle, it's in black and white and it's like the same effect. It doesn't take away.
Mm-hmm. I think
I don't know.
it's I just think it's like over consumerism within that way, and it's really sad because I think a lot of the time too, and I think this is maybe necessarily like a thing the middle class and like more well off people, like even like mid upper class and stuff like that, where they have more disposable income to spend on items like these rather than poor people who usually don't even have a Kindle. If they're using Kindle, they're using it loaned out of the library, or the only books that they get for Kindle, which using your Kindle, you can use Libby and get free
Sure.
library books.
Right? Or if you're somebody that wants to know if you like a certain kind of Kindle, you should check in with your local library and see if they have any that you can loan
Borrow for
out, see if it's
free.
something you like. So you don't
Yeah.
have to like keep buying them and then like
Returning
not returning
them.
them
Yeah.
or something.
And like, I don't think this is a diss on Kindle. I think my Kindle makes me read more than I ever have before my Kindle. I love my Kindle, but then there's also a thing where you don't need the newest Kindle every year. Kindles have a very long
Dude, the
lifespan.
Kindles, you can put so much on your Kindle. Like a book does not take up that much
No,
space.
there's literally you could probably have like 1,000 books on your Kindle before it actually starts affected by like the books being on your Kindle. You know, like the speed or whatever. Like I've downloaded so many books on my Kindle, and I on my newer one that I got last year, which it was still a year old whenever I bought it too. Like I bought the year before's Kindle. I didn't buy like that year's. Like I think I got it in 2022 Kindle because one hadn't come out yet. But it like objectively there is no different from my Kindle than whatever the Kindle is coming out like the next year. They don't change that much. They really don't add
Hmm.
any crazy new features. Like the main feature that I wanted on this one was that it comes in dark mode. My old Kindle did not have that, and that is the news like the newest thing that they've already had for years at this point on Kindles. It's just my Kindle was so old it didn't have that.
It kind of reminds me of the people that will get that plan with like AT&T or Verizon, where you can like get the new iPhone every year,
Oh yeah, the
which
iPhone
I've
forever.
never understood why you would want that. I don't think that there's that much
Change.
technologically advancement, like advancing shit, happening every year.
Yeah. But it was just, it's mostly not even like people getting newer Kindles, because I feel like that I have respect. My main issue was the fake, like, little phone thing. That is what made me,
Mm-hmm.
like, irrationally angry to my core. Because I was like, just use your phone at this point, especially if you're aware of the exploitation that's going on in the Congo to create the batteries for these electronics. Because I understand, like, the society that we live in, especially in the United States, you cannot live without an item that doesn't go on the internet. You know, like, do need that internet access. That is a requirement to live in the United States, is to have accessibility to the internet regularly. So I don't blame people where, like, if their phone breaks and they're getting a new phone. But it's different when their phone breaks and they're getting a new phone versus, oh, I have the 14, but the 15 just came out, so I'm going to get the 15. No?
Hmm. And Kristen and I are in the same boat where we use our phones until they like run into the ground. Like you
Yeah,
can't update
like,
it
you can't
anymore.
use it. Like, it's literally like,
Because I had how many phones? I have the 11 Pro Max, and then before that, I had like
I think I have the
an
14 right now, but
iPhone
before that, I think
five
I
or
had the
six.
X. So it was like 4 different iterations of iPhones that came out before I'd gotten. I think this is.
I think that's it. That's all I had for
We've only
that.
been
Just makes me
recording for
so mad.
13 minutes.
I told you it wasn't going to be super long.
I
Just like a
know.
little dissertation on ethical consumption,
Under
what it's like
capitalism.
living under capitalism,
And, like,
and
I think.
just understanding hyper consumerism as Marxist and like what we should and should not do. Get a refurbished one if you can. Like I think that's one of the best
Facebook
things that you can do is
Marketplace.
buy refurbished.
I
Mm-hmm.
swear all the time, all over my Facebook Marketplace, I'm seeing people selling their virtually untouched Kindles, and I'm like, this, if I ever need a Kindle, this is where something I can go to. eBay, I'm sure, has refurbished Kindles like
We
crazy.
found like Nooks. It's always Nooks. I don't know why.
Nooks
Probably because like the
are Barnes
interface
and
for Nooks.
Nobles.
Oh, we find them at the bins, so we'll get them for like 25 cents.
Wow.
And like sometimes they need work,
Hmm.
but I don't. I feel like that's like a better investment is if you put a little bit of
Well,
work
because
into
if
it or
you buy it
investment,
for
and then you're
25
not.
cents and then it costs not even $50 to fix it,
Mhm.
then
Like
that's,
sometimes it's just like the backlight screen is like not working right
yeah,
or something. So you can only use it with a lamp, but I mean,
you're still using
you get
it.
it for 25 cents. You're not having extra cobalt sourced in order to create the battery. So I don't know. It's just it feels better, not that that should be any sort of like um metric that you're using to determine what you should or should not purchase. But it does feel better to do something like that than knowing that you're actively contributing to the atrocities that are happening to the people in Congo. So,
Exactly. And I think that's something that, and something that I noticed too, which, I mean, obviously, because, I mean, Book Talk is majority white women on the platform and in the niche of Book Talk, where, but obviously there are plenty of people of color and things like that. You just have to find them. And I never see any of them ever promoting this over consumerism either.
I
It's
was gonna say,
always
I was like, I
white
only
women.
ever see like the white Sarah J. Maas like type that are
Yes.
like, oh my god, got the
New
new Kindle.
Kindle.
Like,
Yeah. And I think it's very telling whenever, if those are the people that are promoting this ideology or this consumerism and these things like that, where I think it's not only like a class difference, it's also just like a societal difference, where, like, being poor American, I cannot imagine like having the money to spend all the time on getting the newest electronic, the newest iPad, the newest whatever. Like, the iPad I have is from like 2016. Yeah, like, I got it in 2018, and it was an old one then.
closing thought.
Don't buy the new
Or
Kindle. Don't buy the new Kobo. Don't buy the new. I'm sorry, I don't know what that fake phone thing is called, but I'm glad I don't know, because I don't want to promote it. No free advertisement from me.
no free advertising on this platform.
Yeah. I mean,
Period.
I've advertised the Kindle, but I like the Kindle, actually.
I feel like it's like almost like a word like we use Zipper. Like Zipper used to be a brand. Like we just call all e-readers
Kindle.
Kindles.
Yeah.
In my head, I am just like, oh,
I can see
everything's a
that.
Kindle, and it's
Yeah.
not because it is. It's because it's like the staple standard, and I think Kindle's gonna lose its meaning. That's my theory.
One can
But
only hope. I don't know. I personally, I mean, I've never used a Kobo, but I don't know if I ever could. Well,
we'll have to ask Evan because he has one.
I think he likes it. But I just know me personally. I don't think it's for.
I like
I don't
KU.
like. I don't like the buttons. I don't know.
Oh,
if
that's how you change
possible.
the pages, huh?
Yes, it's an actual button, not tapping the screen. Okay, but if that's all,
Anyways, thanks for listening. I know we're gonna have more episodes this summer that are gonna be along this line. Just nice little quick videos where we just talk about or
something
not
for a couple
videos. If
minutes.
you're listening to this on Spotify, maybe it's not a
Podcast.
video or
Yeah.
Apple Podcast.
Well, Spotify always has the
but
video on it, by the way. Just saying, you guys are interested in
we're gonna
watching.
leave polls though, I think, on all of these. So you can submit requests if you see something on Book Talk.
You want our opinion
Anything.
on?
I would love that. Please.
Give us topics to
Please.
yap about.
Show me to me, Rachel. Please.
I think that's it. Thank you. Good night.